Good morning, sir. Good morning. You're stuck with me again today. What? Yeah. She can fight better use and support her time, honestly. "31 names on this resolution. Whatever happened to Smith and Jones, you know? Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How we doing?
All right. As I was just saying, you're stuck with me.
Good thing. Yeah. By roadway? Okay. Did I meet them before? Because I had someone with me coming in and we looked at it. So early. I'm not crazy about using a hotel. Yeah. It should be. It should be. Look at the hotel. Okay, so I can go.
How are you? Still vertical. Still doing what the ladies tell me.
Thank you, Eric. We're going to withdraw C18. Yeah. How you doing? I've been wrangling about the Oh, yeah. No, withdraw the talk about VR stuff. Hello, you know, good.
Yeah, that's me. That's the, yeah.
All Rangeland.
Did you FaceTime me by accident? FaceTime me.
Oh, that was by accident. They sent me a picture of me, but I wasn't there. I didn't understand why you sent it to me because
That's my
because I was celebrating my
biggest number. Aside from the cell tower.
Ours? Is it 8? We got a lot of time.
Commissioner Oakley, almost ready?
I had my anniversary Saturday too. 34 years. Yeah. 8 years? 7.
Oh.
20.
Oh. Hey, I guess I can. Okay. Yeah. Wait, are you gonna have someone? No, we're just gonna go through it all. You got a plan?
Or above, till 30? Yeah, you can do all the public comment. I'll deal with L35.
Yeah, because
Oh, I thought you were out there.
that's Sunday.
You want me to write yours? Good morning. I would like to call to order the Pasco County Board of County Commission 10 o'clock meeting on March 24th, 2026. At this time, please silence all electronic devices and mute your phones. Please rise for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. Let's pray. Well, Father, we've come together today for another important meeting with so much on the agenda today, Lord. And as we've gathered, part of the agenda is to recognize the soccer team, Lord. We just thank you for them, for their efforts that earned them the championship that they're celebrating today. At the same time, there are things on the agenda today that are focused on safety. There are new stoplights, there are overpasses, other things, Lord. And we just thank you that our vision is to make our county as safe as possible for all of our citizens. So we thank you for that, Lord. And at the same time, as we've gathered today, we're well aware of the conflict going on in the Middle East and of the fact that we've lost some of our service people already. So I lift up the families of those service people who were lost and ask that you just surround them with your arms of comfort. And at the same time, Lord, we are asking for a quick end to the conflict so the rest of our troops can come home. But in the meantime, again, we ask for your arms of peace and protection around each and every one of our service people, Lord. So be with us today as we've gathered, guide and lead us in the decisions that need to be made, Lord, and always be present in our conversation. I lift us in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
District 1, Commissioner Oakley.
Here.
District 2, Commissioner Wakeman.
Present.
District 3, Commissioner Starkey.
Here.
District 4, Commissioner Yeager.
Here.
District 5, Chairman Mariano.
Here. Now is the time for public comment. Citizens given an opportunity to comment any current or future agenda item coming before the board and on other business under the board's purview. We're going to do public comment a little bit different today. We know we have a lot of people from Bexley with the Rangeland concerns. So what we'd like to do, and I've talked to the county attorney about this, he'll speak to it in a minute, is we want to hear the public comment from all the other citizens that are here, the ones that are online talking about other things. As we finish our business, which will be very quickly, we're then going to hear a presentation on Rangeland. At that point in time, I think it'd be best to have the Rangeland people come up and then put their public input, and then the board will have a conversation after that. This way you can see the full thing, won't just be with all, what's going to happen, et cetera. You're going to see it, hear it, and then we'll talk about what to be done next, if you people don't mind. So for those that are going to speak first, we will take public comment for those here in person, then we'll take public comment for those who are pre-registered for an online link and currently on queue. When you address the board, comments are not directed personally at a commissioner or a team member, but directed at the issues. This provides mutual respect between board members and the public. After stating your name and address for clerk, a 3-minute timer will be activated. A green light will be shown at the podium. After 2 minutes, a yellow light will indicate you have 1 minute left. When your time is up, a red light will be displayed. 3 beeps will sound, and you should close your comments. Online participants will be disconnected automatically when their time is up. And Mr. County Attorney, do you want to speak just to this change? It's just a one-time change, not a precedent setter?
Be happy to, Mr. Chair. The board can always reorder their agenda. The state law that requires public comment before taking action on a proposition would be fulfilled if you moved the public comment on that particular item to before you voted on the item. So long as the board consents to the change in the rules for this particular matter at this particular time, I think the board is well within its rights to do it as, and I had a conversation with both the administrator and the chair yesterday about this, to do the presentation for the study for Rangeland, and then take public comment from those interested members of the public. Mr. Waitman.
Chair, Commissioner Waitman.
Hey, Chair. Do we want to do resolutions first, at least with the soccer team, now they can get back to school? I think those would take quite a bit of time. But and everybody can cheer for them while they have a crowd.
So
This is something to think about.
No,
We can celebrate and then get into the seriousness of the business.
All right, I'll tell you what, fantastic achievement for the Sun Lake High School boys. Let's do RS2 first.
Thank you, Chairman.
Resolution number 26170.
Boys, come up.
Team coach.
And while they're coming up, let me apologize in advance for pronunciation of names. There are many of them in this resolution. A resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, congratulating the Sun Lake High School boys soccer team for winning a state championship. Whereas on February 25th, 2026, the Sun Lake Seahawks High School boys soccer team beat the
No, you got to face us.
Jacksonville
Face us first,
Mandarin boys soccer team.
That's better.
See, now you're on TV here.
Whereas on February 25th, 2026, the Sun Lake Seahawks High School boys soccer team beat Jacksonville Mandarin boys soccer team 3-2 to capture the Class 6A boys soccer state championship. And whereas the Sun Lake Seahawks High School boys soccer team finished the 25-26 season with an 18-3-3 record and earned the first state title in the school history after 5 state Final Four appearances. And whereas, with a slow start to the season, the Sun Lake High School boys soccer team ended up with 15 straight wins, while outscoring opponents 53-14, leading up to the state title. And whereas, with only 10 minutes left in the game, Zario Todd,
Raise your hand.
Arrow?
the corner kicked, let's see. Jared's corner kick set up the game-winning goal from Elliot Hines, and whereas the Sun Lake boys soccer team is comprised of players Jack Hanslick, Santiago Vidal,
Raise your
Grant
hand.
Menike, Aiden Soto, Rafael Chang, Sebastian Santiago, Gerard Todd, Isaac Soto, Ricky Case, Peter Arroyo, Jimmy Martinez, Halen Ramirez, Juan Hernandez, Joseph Arroyo, Mike Goodnow, Bastian Lanaz Pizarro, Trent Hambe, Sebastian Supa, DeLeon Smith, Chris Maeja, Alicio Cullinan, Tut Lacombe, Elliot Hines, Trestles Edmonds, and Anthony Truglio. And whereas the Sun Lake High School boys soccer team staff consists of head coach Danielle Patopoulos, statisticians Michael Fatopoulos, Lane Brashear, and Alex Pohl, assistant coaches Will Fatopoulos, Nick Creel, Nick Pohl, and Isaiah Ribacall, assistant manager Will Shimato, and team manager Julie Brashear. Whereas the Pasco County Board of County Commissioners extends their congratulations to the Sun Lake High School boys soccer team on winning a state championship and wishes them luck in future sessions. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, that said board hereby congratulates Sun Lake High School boys soccer team for winning the Class 6A boys soccer state championship. Down and resolved in the regular session with a quorum present and voting this 24th day of March 2026.
Move approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Mr.
Well,
Yeager.
Congratulations, boys, on winning states. I know what that takes. I have boys that are competitive. I know the grit, the determination, the teamwork, the times where you thought you were going to lose and you dug deep and to get it done, and what memories you guys made, right? How many of you have made memories to last a lifetime that you'll never forget, and friendships and bonds, right? That's what it's all about, and I'm so proud of you guys. I'd like to highlight a few of the players. First team all conference for the SAC, Joseph, tell me if I say your last name wrong, Arroyo, you, and then your brother, Peter. All right, give it up. I know your mom must be so proud of both of you. And Jairo, congratulations. Second team all conference, Ricky, Isaac, Juan, congratulations. Oh boy, and a little brother competition. Peter won Offensive Player of the Year. Congratulations, Peter. Defensive Player of the Year, Elliot. Congratulations. And you guys, none of this would be possible. And if you could step forward, Coach, without your amazing coach, Danielle Fatopoulos. No, Danielle, you're not done. Stay up here. You're getting some props. I'm being named the SAC Coach of the Year. What a huge accomplishment.
Wow.
for you boys, your team, the school, our county. Amazing. And you have also done an outstanding job leading the state championship. It's truly an honor to have someone of your caliber leading our boys in the soccer program. Danielle played for the University of Florida, where she won the 1998 national championship and still holds the NCAA Division I record for goals. In addition, she was a member of the United States women's national team that won the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup. We are incredibly fortunate to have you coaching in our community. And on top, everybody, it is her birthday. Can we all sing happy birthday to Coach Danielle? All right, ready? Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Coach. Happy birthday.
Congratulations, boys and coach, and if you want to step behind the podium and say a few words.
Well, before we get to that, let's let the other
Okay,
commissioners
that's
speak too. Commissioner Oakley?
Yep. Congratulations, guys and girls and ladies. That we appreciate everything you've done, and I know it's a great feeling to be a winner. I was part of a team that won 10 football games in one season way back in 1961. So I know how it feels, and that memory has stayed with me all this time. So it's a great thing, a great honor that y'all were able to serve together, and you're basically your friends for life. Remember that. Help your friends. Thank you.
Commissioner Waitman?
Thank you.
Commissioner Waitman?
Yes. Just honored to have everybody here today, players, coaches, parents, guardians, loved ones, brothers, sisters. Congratulations to everybody here. It's a team and family effort. And Coach, with credentials like that, we're sure glad you're helping our kids here in Pasco County. Happy birthday, and just congratulations to everybody.
Okay. Commissioner Starkey?
Well, I've known Danielle for a while, and my daughter, Lindsay Jones, played soccer at River Ridge and was ranked statewide and ended up playing at the Air Force Academy and marrying, as I told you guys before, another soccer player at the Air Force Academy who was on the national team. So I understand all the work that you guys have put into this. And Danielle, was it your husband that was my daughter's coach? Or yes, that we used to drive down to UT or somewhere down there for training a couple nights a week. So I'm just, we had Mitchell High last year. We have you guys here this year. I mean, this is so awesome for all of us. And I'm sure it has a lot to do with the caliber of our coaches here. And so for you, Danielle, and you, Coach, back there too, congratulations. And guys, great work. Make us very proud. We're so glad that we could honor you here today. And how many of you are seniors?
Oh, wow.
Huh? All
New
right.
team next year.
Yeah. Well, we hope to see you back again here next year. No pressure. No pressure.
All right, if you guys want to go back there and say a few words.
Well, I'd like just to add a couple of things, you don't mind?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Just to say as well, I'd like to say, great job, great work. And Coach, I want to work with you. We are on the Sports Coast. And I want to work with Tourist Development to try to work to get, let's say, plaques with your accomplishments on the fields that you play on.
Oh, good idea.
And I think I think it'd be a good statement for anybody coming to a park to see these are the champion years, these are the champion teams, et cetera. So if you want to work with us, love to make that happen. I think it's phenomenal. What a great accomplishment, guys. And as they say, you'll never forget this. So enjoy. So, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Heido Todd, one of the 4 captains here at Sun Lake. And we're just here to thank you guys to take the time to recognize and congratulate our Sun Lake boys soccer team on our 6A state championship. We truly appreciate the support from Commissioner Yeager and you guys' entire office. This achievement means so much to our families, us as players, our school, and ultimately Pasco County. And we're so grateful to share this moment with you. Thank you again for your support and encouragement, and go Seahawks.
All right. Now, did anyone else want to speak? Coach, you want to say any more?
Come on, Coach.
Come on.
Well, actually, I didn't have anything prepared because I know that you are giving me a lot of the credit, but I can say I've taken over a very fantastic program, and the boys are the ones who won the game, hands down, all the games. They were on a mission. They were led. If our captains would all come out here, I'd like for you to see them. And they made a definitely different statement from years past of how we were going to lead. And they were the ones that led the boys to the championship. And then we also had another person we had to give a captain band to because he wouldn't keep his mouth shut on the field. And only if you have a band on are you allowed to talk to the referees. So I wasn't allowed to talk to the referees. They all talked to the referees. And if you did talk to the referee, you would get a yellow card. So we didn't want any of that. And I'm very proud of each and every person standing up here, whether you played the whole game, or you came in as a sub, or at times didn't get to play at all. But it definitely is a team effort, as well as from their parents, which we have a lot of them here. And as you all know, it comes from, our county, our school. We had a lot of support through our athletic program and our principals. So it takes everybody to win a championship. So, and thank you all for having us.
Thank you. And I want to add one more thing. Commissioner Yeager's going to come down and take a picture with you, but Commissioner Starkey, I think Coach would be a great speaker for your Committee of the Status of Women. I think she would inspire a lot of ladies to do
Absolutely.
just what you're doing, just getting in there and do what you love to do and do it so well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We'll get
All right,
you
so-
plugged.
Thank you. I would be honored.
And our superintendent is here as well. Mr. Legg, Superintendent, if you'd come on up here with us and get in the picture as well, it'd be great.
All the way back.
Yeah, George was
And then just make sure that everybody can see, like, find a window. And bear with me.
I don't want to be, hold on, let's make sure the tall guys are in the back, because I don't want to block anybody. You're not, I'm not telling you to be short.
All right, does everybody have a window where they can see me?
Tiptoes in the back.
Can you see him back here?
All right, everybody, bear with me. 1, 2, 3.
Do the parents want to come up here and take pictures too? Come on up.
She's gonna do, yeah, I just asked her to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. So parents, you can come take.
Parents, come on up front if you want to take a picture.
In the picture.
Oh, in the
They can
picture.
get
So
in the
parents,
picture,
you're
right?
In the picture, all right.
It's a big deal.
We will be happy to share these pictures we take as well.
All right, again, make sure you guys can see me. Ready? 1. You don't want to be. Super big. All right, 1, 2.
And I'll go back and work on your grades.
Yep. Great job, boys.
Yep. We'll be in touch.
As we start public comment, Walter Price with the IAFF 420 is here to speak.
How's everybody today?
Great.
Walter Price, address is protected. Good morning, Commissioners. I will keep this brief. I know you guys got a packed agenda. Today's an exciting day for Pasco County Fire Rescue and you guys as well. First, I want to thank you all for your time today and your continued focus on public safety in Pasco County. We all share the same goal, protecting the people who live and visit here. The funding for Station 4 is part of a broader effort that we've been working on for years. We haven't been asking for this specific project the entire time, but we have spent years building relationships, advocating at the state level, and putting ourselves in a position to secure appropriations like this when the need arises. And a lot of that work was driven by our PAC and our local union 4420. The men and women of Pasco County firefighters, through the Fire PAC and Local 4420, we have put in countless hours behind the scenes, meeting with legislators, making the case, and staying committed to getting this done. Today, we're proud to be here presenting this check for just over $3.4 million, not just as funding, but as a result of all the work finally coming to life. This funding is a direct investment in response times, firefighter safety, and ultimately the survival of all of our citizens. When you look at the call volume and response delay, this wasn't a want, this was a need. And because of that effort, we're all now seeing the results. So today, I want to recognize the firefighters, the leadership of Local 4420, and our PAC for staying focused and getting this across the finish line. We appreciate the partnership with all of you moving forward, and we look forward to continuing to work together as this county continues to grow. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about buildings, it's about seconds, and seconds saves lives. Thank you. Want to take a picture?
Well, yeah, we'll come down to take a picture, and I just want to thank you guys for the work you do. As we have to battle with live local, property taxes, et cetera, you guys carrying that separate agenda, bringing it forward to focus on it, laser focus like you do, and be able to talk about the great work all of you do. Everyone in the audience should know our fire EMS team is the best, and we really appreciate the great work you do for us. So that great performance, coupled with your great advocating, has led to this great success. So if the team would all come up, and then we'll go down as well.
Well, let's see how many are here.
Let's see how many we got.
Quite a few.
I think we, well, all right, do you want to stay up here?
Yeah, I
All right.
think so. There's quite a few.
I don't sit down on this.
We gotta be tall.
That's what I would do.
That's what Jack.
Yeah, I got a tall one in front of me. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry Brad couldn't be there the other
Can I get two of you to come on this side?
So it's not a post station, it's correct.
Take it up.
All right, ready? Everybody can see me?
Thank you.
So they just got.
Somebody take the check.
Yeah, leave the check, guys.
We have one person signed up that's not for the Bexley Rangeland project, and that is?
Bruce, starts with a B.
You know, my
Name
name's
and
Bruce
address.
Bumstead, 15324 Cary Lane, Hudson, Florida.
I'm sorry, I overspoke over you. Could you just give us your name again, please?
Bruce Bumstead,
Thank you, sir.
15324 Cary Lane, Hudson, Florida. Okay, so I've been at illegal mining and operations and stuff complaining for eight years now. And it just took a lot. I'm at the Tallahassee level DEP. I've invited all 5 of you commissioners to site. I never heard a word back from anybody about the situation. So this mining that's going on, there's state-bound laws now that apply to the fact that they've broken into this landfill. March 27, DEP's meeting with them for the activity that's going on. And it shouldn't have took me to get a hold of state-level Tallahassee to handle this. And I know what's going on here because I'm the frontage of a 173-acre light industrial park that you guys have planned in the whole situation of the light industrial area. And all these old landfills you guys are trying to just make go bye-bye because half of them been done illegally and illegally filled and not lined, and the different situations that have gone on with the county for the last 15, 20, 25 years in these landfills that have gone on. You know, and now some of these properties have been being mined for county dirt. The county property is being mined for dirt. The county property is still blocked off of the road easement with a fenced-off property with a sign for rent now, when they're not following the laws to be able to become a legal rental center, because Bolton Avenue and Little Road is a legal center, And they have to do all different kinds of regulations for what you guys have imposed on them. There's a sidewalk that they have to put in. How come there's no sidewalk gonna be going in down this property? How come there's no sidewalk down Bolton Avenue in front of the $14 million auction that took place when Bolton Avenue is one of the deadliest roads for pedestrians in the county? Okay, and I've invited some of our commissioners to come just so they can see the thing in person. And crickets from everybody. So I don't understand, you know, you guys have come at me for my private road under PVAC process, eminent domain, and you've made comments to say, well, if he's illegally mining his property, that's a whole different set of rules, and we have rules on the books for that. Well, obviously, the rules a half a mile down the street don't apply, because ain't nobody followed them rules for the illegal mining that's been going on. The illegal mining on the property to the next of it, where the county came out and looked and seen the big, huge hole that was dumped. All the stuff got backfilled in it. The state was never notified of any of the illegal mining activities going on. So there's been a lot going on in this neighborhood that really needs to be addressed, and you guys really need to understand I'm not going away till you resolve it. And it's gonna get resolved, and it's gonna get handled properly. You know, state laws, that property has to be dirt samples. They spread their contaminated dirt onto your site, onto your property, onto a different parcel, without no soil samples, without any testing, without any permits, without anything. So that's why I'm here again, and it's going to get addressed.
What's the address again?
8969 Bolton Avenue.
I think I pulled it up last time you spoke.
Yep.
You can see it.
Yep.
Right from the,
Blatant, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying, that's why I'm here, because this has been getting covered up way too long, and the people that know and are involved know exactly who they are, know exactly who's been covering it up. So, that's
David
what I
Allen,
have
would
to
you
say.
meet with Ms. Bumstead? Thank you. Is that all? Yeah.
Again, that's the only other person other than those signed up for item 31, both in person and online.
Okay, so no one online. Is anyone else in person?
I do, excuse me, correction on that, for one online, that's general comment.
All right.
It appears to be, though, the same subject.
Same subject for Rangeland? Or
It's same address.
what's the name?
Patrick Briggs, online.
Patrick Briggs, you online? Okay. All right, so we'll close public comment there. Anyone else in the audience that want to speak to something other than Rangeland? Okay, we're going to close public comment and go to RS1, Resolution, Government Finance Professionals.
Resolution number 26168, a resolution by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, declaring March 16th through the 20th, 2026 as Government Finance Professionals Week in Pasco County. Whereas founded in 1937, the Florida Government Finance Officers Association, FGFOA, serves more than 3,300 professionals from state, county, and city governments, school districts, colleges, and universities, special districts, and private firms. And whereas government finance professionals play a crucial role in ensuring the effective and transparent management of public funds, supporting fiscal health and sustainability of Florida's state and local governments. And whereas the Florida Government Finance Officers Association is dedicated to being a professional resource by providing opportunities through education, networking, leadership, and information. And whereas Government Finance Professionals Week, sponsored by the FGFOA and all its member government organizations, is a week-long series of activities aimed at recognizing government finance professionals and the vital services they provide to our state, local government, and community in which they serve. And whereas government finance professionals serve the Pasco County Board of County Commissioners, promoting prosperity by ensuring sound fiscal management, fruitful investments, and diligent accounting, among many other services. And whereas during this week, government finance professionals throughout the state of Florida will be acknowledged for their hard work, dedication, and leadership. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Pasco County, Florida, that said board hereby declares March 16th to the 20th, 2026 as Government Finance Professionals Week in Pasco County, and encourages citizens to extend their appreciation to all government finance professionals throughout Florida and Pasco County. Done and resolved in regular session with the quorum present and voting this 24th day of March 2026.
Move approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Commissioner Waitman.
Thank you. It's fitting I get to do this one. But all seriousness, thank you guys for your evolution over, well, since I've come on the board 3 years ago, and finding a way to take a complicated subject and simplify it for us, for me, and the public. And, it's a tough job y'all have. You have 5 different opinions and money moving around every which way. On top of the directors, you have to, try to make sure that they're whole. But it's a tough job. We appreciate you. And something, while you're here, it's pretty neat. I don't know if we've ever done it before, but the online survey with the budget process that the county finance team has launched online, and maybe Amy will speak to it a little bit when she speaks. But I encourage anybody who's interested in our county budget and wants to add input on how your money is being spent, managed by this board, I encourage y'all to do so. But no, budget team, thank y'all for coming here today. It's my honor to present this to you, and to know that you are appreciated no matter how frustrating or challenging the budget process may be every year. Know that we're very grateful that you choose to do this job and work for the citizens of Pasco County. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Commissioner Oakley.
Yep. Before Amy came aboard, we had Budget Bob. So when Amy came above, I had to come up with some name that would fit Amy to doing the job that Bob did very well. And so I came up with Accurate Amy. And it fits. She's held up to that point and done a great job in leadership, and all of you are very much appreciated because your job's not easy. And it's always seemed like until it hits the end, it's a moving target until we get in the right place. And it's hard work, and I understand it. So I appreciate each and every one of you for all the part that you take in making our budget right for the citizens of Pasco County. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Starkey.
Yeah, I want to thank you for making, I think, the budget easier to see. I'm a visual person. All those numbers make my head spin. But when you do those wonderful graphs, it really, I think, helps make it so much easier to comprehend. And just, I love the way you're presenting the budget now. It's just so wonderful, and I'm very grateful for all the hard work that you do. It's not a job, I could never be in your department. But I appreciate all the hard work that you do, so congratulations.
Commissioner Yeager.
Yes, you guys definitely deserve this. As soon as you're done with the budget, you go to the next budget, and it's never ending. And as Commissioner Starkey said, it's very complex. And I'm just gonna say a joke that Amy will understand, but if I ever ask a question, her answer is, wait, there's a slide for that. So you guys truly think of everything, and you break it down, and you make it easy for our constituents and all of us. And just thank you for all your hard work you put in all year round. So thank you.
Okay. Mr. Carbella.
I can hold it. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Listen, pursuant to what Commissioner Waitman said, that budget survey is on our main page, on our main website. It'll probably open for about another 2 weeks while we take some. But I've always kept the money people close. I actually married one, so my wife is a government finance professional as well. But I thank you guys for all that you do. I mean, honest to goodness, you provide transparency, accountability, and always promoting the fiscal responsibility that goes along with it, and trying to make sure that we keep our finances right, in line, and in order, and safe for generations to come. And so I've always said that you've really got to understand money in order to make things work, and it takes a team to manage that. So whether it's our staff and our fiscal teams, our budget office, or even our partners at the clerk's office, you guys do amazing work. So I thank you for that.
And I'll say, as chairman now for the commission and been in Billiken since 2004, watching the team evolve over time has been phenomenal. It just gets better and better and better. What you guys do makes it easy for us. We can ask a question. If there's not a slide for it, we'll get the answer. We'll tweak things to make it all work so we can communicate to our citizens. And that's led to, if you look at all these budget years, very little people come in to complain about what we're doing. it's more accolades. Even the Citizens Academy that Commissioner Starkey had brought forward, when they look at what we do, they kind of say, well, how do you make this happen? Leadership Pasco, same thing. How do they make these decisions to go through? And with your dedication behind the scenes, getting it all for us, it makes it easy for us to, I think make a very good decision. So thank you for the great work you do. Amy?
All right. So I figured we had a soccer team here and we were talking a whole bunch of stats. And if I were to do my due diligence, I should also provide some stats to demonstrate the hard work that happens from, and this is just a small representation of Dan wrote it down for me so I wouldn't mess it up. 147 individuals between the board side and the clerk's office dedicated to ensuring good fiscal stewardship. I'm proud to stand amongst this group of folks here. But in the last year, here's what we've accomplished. 35,123 P-card transactions, 48,475 invoices processed, 2,843 requisitions, purchase orders, and contracts were processed, 2,370 purchase order, contract change orders were processed. We had to change some stuff, it's okay. 476 budget amendments processed. Oh, if Matt and Richard were here, they wouldn't like this one. 2,562 account requests were processed. 132 funds were balanced. And then my personal favorite, so Dan wrote multiple millage rate scenarios calculated, but I'd like to rephrase that. I'd like to rephrase that to somewhere around countless side quests we were sent on. But in all seriousness, when I come up here and I get to present to you guys, it's not just my team, the budget office's body of work that I get to be the mouthpiece for, it's everyone standing here across all of the branches, public safety, development services, internal services, public infrastructure, public services. We all come together every year to make sure that we are getting the most accurate information in front of you guys in an easy to understand manner so you can make the hard decisions that you need to make sure our money's working for our citizens and our stakeholders. It's a group effort. So as honored as I am to stand here and say thank you for honoring us, thanks for working with us on this.
All right.
Good morning, Heather Grimes, Chief Administrative Officer for the Clerk of the Court. Amy gave great stats. I have a couple too. So while Amy gets to help plan and her team, we get to work with a lot of your fiscal teams on the day-to-day. So we are responsible for $2.3 billion. That's a lot. This is like a massive corporation, right? And a lot of things could go wrong, but they don't because of all these people. And that equates to 2,700 transactions every single day in this county to run the business. So thank you for your recognition. This group of individuals and the ones that are still in the offices doing the work, they are great stewards of the public's money. And we appreciate their work every day, and thank you for recognizing them.
All right. A pleasure.
Mr. Chairman, if I could.
Sure.
As many of you know, I've been around a while. And I have watched the relationship between the clerk's office, having been on both sides of the equation at different times, cussing the clerk's office and about not being able to get things through and whatever. I can say, though, that I cannot say that I've ever seen the cooperation and interaction as good as it is nowadays. And it is truly a team, and my hat's off to y'all because, as was said before, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't sit in front of a tube doing that stuff all day, but congratulations to y'all.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Waitman, you want to go down to the picture? We'll stand back up here. Come on up this way.
Every group today's been large.
I know.
Short people in front, I'm used to it. Thank you. You knew what I was into.
Thanks for giving me a window, Seth.
You heard my window comment from earlier. Perfect. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Make it up, team. Halfway there.
Now time for a consent agenda. We have a few polls. Withdraw on C15, withdraw C8, withdraw C18, and I have pulled C5. Are there any other polls for the consent agenda? Okay. May I have a motion to
Seeing none, I
approve?
move approval of all the other items on the consent agenda.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And C5, I know Superintendent Lake's here with his team. There's a resolution for a question to be placed on the ballot November 3rd, 2026. General election is directed by the school board. I thought it'd be great if Superintendent Lake would just speak to it so that everyone would be better informed about it. So thank you for coming, Superintendent.
Thank you, County Commissioners, and thank you for having us here today and bringing this resolution up to put on the ballot. Just to kind of refresh your memory, I know many of you know it quite well. I can't believe it's been almost 4 years already, but approximately three years ago, this board ratified a resolution from our school board to put on the ballot a resolution in order to use local millage money to enhance our teachers' salary. State statutes require it to come up to, if it's to be renewed, it must be renewed every 4 years. So we are here in 2026 to place it back on the ballot with your approval here today. Just to give you a little overview of where we are and where we've come from, if this referendum were not to go into effect, were not to be passed, it would result into a net cut of our teacher salary and support personnel across the board of approximately 12%. So approximately 12% of our teachers, bus drivers, food nutrition services, maintenance, custodial individuals are based upon this resolution that's before the voters. How effective was it? You know, we are now on year 3. How effective was it? And if you look in the slide in front of you, and I'll get really to the heart of the matter, the year before this was in effect, approximately a week into the school, we had 314 teacher vacancies. That's 314 classrooms that started the year without a teacher. Because of this resolution and the ability to pay our teachers more, we were able to reduce that down all the way down to this year at the start of the school year of 55 classrooms. Of those 55 classrooms, most of those or a significant number of those are really the targeted, hard-to-fill classrooms, such as children with special needs. Our traditional instructional classrooms, we're seeing a significant ability to fill those classrooms as well. But it's not just our teachers. If you look one slide further, just our custodial vacancies, the individuals that clean our schools and keep them clean and safe, sanitary for our students. Prior to school starting, prior to this resolution going into effect 3 years ago, we had 80 vacancies. You will see that's down to 15. And of those 15, that's just normal turnover of any given time where we're filling up the slot. So it had a dramatic decrease on it. What is different now than 3 years ago is that our friends and neighbors to the south of us have passed resolutions as well. We were able to begin to, and I don't want to say steal teachers from Hillsborough and Pinellas County, but we were able to attract teachers from Hillsborough and Pinellas, and our principals are telling us that they were recruiting and we were being successful in having individuals that perhaps were living in Pasco, but were teaching across the county line. They were coming home to where they belong here in Pasco. But since that time, Hillsborough last year, or Hillsborough and Pinellas, both have added a millage and have increased their teacher salaries. We are concerned that if this resolution were not to be adopted by you and the voters come November, it would put us at a real competitive disadvantage where our neighbors to the south would be once again poaching our teachers. But this is not just about putting teachers or bodies in a classroom. Because we are able to make gains, we are now able to increase the quality of our teachers. We're able to basically go in and not just we need a body into the classroom. We're able to increase that quality. We're able to do professional coaching and ensure that those teachers that are in front of our students are the best, and that our students deserve, and those students here in Pasco do deserve the best. And that is the direction that we're going. So without taking up too much of your time, that is an overview of where we are with this resolution. We are making great gains. We are seeing huge academic improvements this year as a result of that teacher quality increasing. We're excited about the opportunity of what this year's results will come out, and we do not want to lose momentum. We know that the number one factor, or one of the number one factors of when people move to Pasco or businesses move to Pasco, one of the first questions they always ask is, what is the quality of the schools that we're moving into? With this, we're able to say our quality is high quality and improving, so.
And Superintendent Legg, I greatly appreciate you coming forward. This was a consensus, so that everybody agreed with it, wanted to support it, but I just thought it was good if the public could see that, and I think your words today really resonate, I would think will resonate well with everyone else. It's just so important to have good teachers and to have that supply. We've had the same struggle between firefighters, deputies as well, so we understand what your battle is, and seeing the great success you've had, I think, just like Penny for Pasco is gonna say, okay, it worked, let's go do it again. So, thank you. Commissioner Yeager.
Yeah, I have a comment. I was going to ask you a question, then I saw, no joke, but you had a slide for that. But just to show the public, show them your slide that shows really how much these instructional assistants and the all these support staff make. It's not a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you took that money away, they'd really be hurting. So right now, for a custodial in Pasco, $16.71, right? But some of them, without that raise, they were down to like $13, $14 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it would be detrimental to their household.
Yeah, and it'd be remiss to say that, the school district, we are the largest employer here in Pasco County. So this is money that's going back into the wallets of the individuals here. And I will, clarify, so you know this already, but just there, it does not go to administrators. It does not go to the so-called district office. It goes to our individuals that are in front of our students, helping our students, our bus drivers, food nutrition services, our classroom teachers, our custodians, those that are, in the daily operations working with our students.
Thank you.
Mr. Starkey.
Good morning, John. I am very happy to be able to vote to put this back on the ballot and let our residents decide, and I have no doubt that they will support the school system as they did before. I think you had pretty good numbers 4 years ago.
Close to 60%, yes.
Yeah, so, is that do you need just 51?
We just
50
need,
plus one?
to be specific, we need 50% plus one.
Plus one, right, 50 plus one.
Don't forget the
And,
plus one.
And it's unfortunate that you have to go back every 4 years, whereas the Penny, we got to go to 15 years. But you're right, the communities only is, having a quality school district is so important for a community, and you guys are doing a great job, so.
Thank you.
Good luck with it.
Mr. Robley.
Yeah, I also am very much in support of putting this back on the ballot for you, and we'll be voting for it because it is very important that we keep education as high as we can for our citizens and our students of those citizens that live here in the county. So I know they've done a great job all this time, but I don't want to see go backwards. We need to go forward. So very, very important to have this out there. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Waitman.
Hey, sir. Slightly different off topic. I don't think you have to worry about this, but while you're here, you want to share about the America 250 scholarship?
Oh, anytime I can talk about civics, I love that opportunity.
Let people here and the seniors, since we had a bunch of kids here today, but I figured it'd be a good time to give you some airtime.
Well, thank you for that softball across the plate. I appreciate that. No, America 250, as you know, we're celebrating our 250 years as a country, but it's just real important to me as a history and government teacher that we pause and recognize the importance of civics education. And the school district is really doing a kind of, I think, a one-of-a-kind thing here in the state. We have a multi-pronged approach to promote civics. The first thing that we do, every student, which is a little odd that the legislature would do this, but every high school student is required to take a civics test, but they're not required to pass a civics test. So the passing rate, state of Florida, for high school civics is about 44%. Pasco County, we're at 51%. So we're doing better than the state average. But I'm sure you're like me, 51% is not good enough in a day and age of civics. So we're looking at ways to incentivize civics, promote civics in our schools. So we have an approach. One of the first things that we're doing, we're the first county in the state that any student that passes the civics exam this year in graduation, they'll be getting a red, white, and blue tassel to signify visually that they have passed civics there. In addition to what all of our schools are going to be kind of uniformly doing in terms of promoting civics this next school year when it starts after the 4th. But we also have a scholarship that we've started, a Florida Civics Scholarship, where an individual that we will be giving them, paid for by Florida Prepaid Scholarship, an individual that is going into the world of civics. And I use the world of civics, meaning public service. Oftentimes, public service is denigrated. I think we need more young people to go in public service. I think it's noble for young people to want to get engaged in government, to make our country better. And so we want to recognize those young people that are wanting to make a difference in this world. And you're going to be selecting an individual who is going into civics and giving them a 2-year scholarship paid for by the Florida Prepaid Scholarship Program. In addition, just because civics is a passion of mine, I'm a teacher, we're starting really the first of a kind of a Florida Civics Leadership Program here, where we will be teaching American federal government and state and local government through USF at a high school level, where we will have many of you have already spoken to me. Commissioner Waitman said he is wanting to come to be part of the class, where we'll be teaching about federal and state local government over a year, getting them engaged in government, both at a state and local level. And because it's committed, that's my area and passion. I'm a certified teacher in high school and state and university college. I'm going to be teaching that class for the inaugural year, all year. Because why? Because our young people need to get engaged in civics. So thank you for that softball and promoting civics in our schools.
You want to touch on the parameters, what the kids need to do?
Yeah, they basically need to write a 250-word essay, submit it to us, and then they have to show us that they've passed the Florida Civics Literacy exam. We're trying to incentivize students to take this high school civics course seriously and to pass it, and we're looking at ways to incentivize that.
Okay, Commissioner Starkey.
We've taken what actually I brought over from the school district, the Citizens Academy. I don't know if we're still doing it over there here, because where do people learn how local government works? And how many classes are we up to now, Mike?
In terms of citizen, we do one per year, but we're starting to have a backlog, which might mean we might move to 2 or 3 a year.
No, but how many how many times?
I'm sorry, it's 8, I believe. Joanna, you might know better.
Yeah, it's 11 weeks, and we do 2 classes a year.
Yeah, and we do it 2 times a year, and they're full.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to educate our community on how their government works. So important what you're doing. I remember when I was in high school, we had what was it?
American versus communism.
Communism, is that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they do that anymore. No, but I love what you're doing. So if I can be involved, I'd be happy to.
Commissioner Yeager.
And my offer stands if you have any of your kids in civics that would like to learn about local government. I would love to have them shadow me for a day.
We will. We will absolutely. And just to say, I know a great former House Speaker who actually co-teaches me with one of those classes by the name of Chris Sprouse, who's actually been helping me teach some. So.
I want to say, having you at the helm for education is a great asset for Pasco County. I think you're going to do a phenomenal job. I know you're doing a phenomenal job, and it's going to get better and better. My two children benefited greatly under your leadership, and they're doing fantastic. So thank you for all you're doing for everybody.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. All right, thank you again for coming out. All right, now we're going to go to a presentation for Rangeland.
Your other pull items.
They're all withdrawn.
Oh, they're,
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
So we're going to do the presentation, so everybody that's in the audience is going to speak to it. Make your notes, make your thoughts. After the presentation, we'll bring you up to be able to speak to it.
And your R31 is to be heard this afternoon.
Right.
Or your R30 is to be heard this afternoon, so 31 would be the next one on the agenda.
Yes.
Good morning, Commissioners, honorable members of the board. My name is Panos Conces. I'm the interim Transportation Engineering Director, and I'm also the project manager for the county for this study. Believe it or not, it took us 3 years to get in front of you. This study started in March 2023. That shows the depth of thought and work that went into this study. We also conducted an extensive public involvement program. We conducted one public workshop as a regularly scheduled meeting and one extra public workshop that was not in the scope because of the request of local communities so they could provide more input. We also conducted several small community meetings with community representatives. I'm confident that the recommendations that will be presented to you are reasonable, are sound, and maybe some people here won't agree with me. They will serve best the interests of the local communities and also all the citizens of Pasco County. With that, I will introduce Mike Campo.
Dennis, if I could?
Yes.
I just want you to know, I don't think anybody's mad about what's there. I mean, there were presentations done. The thing is, a fourth item, an agenda item come out as far as a recommendation to go forward. So don't take it as something that they're combative to it. They're just, and I think everyone was very happy that, and they're very well attended, the 2 public hearings you had, which is more than we normally do. But we just need to make sure we get this thing right. They're concerned, we're concerned, so it's just like, you did a great job putting it together, but I think we just need that extra level of public input before we, go down the road with it. So
Right.
don't be offended by everything.
I'm not offended.
Yeah, we just want to get it right. So
No.
you're doing a great job, your team is doing a great job, so
No,
feel good about
I
that.
could completely understand that the local residents have to feel comfortable with the decisions being made, and that's why we're here. We are being transparent. We were very informative throughout the process, and we were very open to suggestions. So, we are here to serve the community the best we can. So I will let Mike Campo, he is the project manager for the consultant, go through the presentation, and then after we hear the comments from the public, we will address any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one more comment. The recommendations you will hear today are for the year 2050. So it's not about addressing whatever congestion is today. It's projecting in the future. And I'm saying this because some people say, well, 54 is not that bad today. I can get in and out of my house today. But imagine 25 years from now what's going to be. So these recommendations are for 2050. And this project will take at least 6 years to get built. So with that comment, I will let Mike go through the presentation.
Thanks, Holmes. Do I advance the slide here? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Panos. The study begins at the existing east terminus of Rangeland Boulevard.
Can you introduce yourself just for the purpose?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm Michael Campo. I'm with the consultant KCA, who was hired by the county to conduct the Rangeland route study and pond siting analysis report. So the study begins at the east terminus of Rangeland Boulevard, which is at Cattle Gap Trail. It extends 3.4 miles to the existing roundabout of Bexley Village Drive. The proposed alignment crosses the existing Suncoast Parkway, approximately 1 mile north of the State Road 54 interchange, which is the only existing Suncoast Parkway crossing in the 9 miles between Lutz Lake Fern Road and Ridge Road. The proposed improvements evaluated in this study improve mobility, safety, emergency access, and connectivity for vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians. The improvements include both a new roadway and an extension of the Orange Belt Trail. Oh, you're advancing these. The improvements evaluated in this study have been included in the county's comprehensive plan since 2006. Planning for the new east-west roadway was also included during the planning of the Starkey Ranch, Astoria Preserve, and Bexley Village master planned urban developments. The proposed improvements will primarily use land dedicated to Pasco County during the development of these communities. The study evaluated multiple build alternatives along with a no-build alternative. Build alternative A includes 4 lanes, 2 in each direction throughout the study limits, and no interchange ramps connecting to the Suncoast Parkway. Build alternatives B and C included 4 lanes from Cattle Gap Trail to South Branch Boulevard, and 6 lanes from South Branch Boulevard to Bexley Village Drive. These alternatives include interchange ramps connecting to the Suncoast Parkway. Build alternatives A, B, and C include on-street bicycle lanes, a pedestrian underpass at the Anklote River crossing, and an extension of the Orange Belt Trail on one side of the new roadway with a sidewalk on the opposite side. The preferred alternative was developed primarily from alternative A along with elements of alternatives B and C and input from the public. The preferred alternative proposes 4 travel lanes throughout the study limits. It includes an overpass crossing the Suncoast Parkway. The preferred alternative does not include interchange ramps connecting to the Suncoast Parkway, but it can accommodate them in the future. And it includes an extra wide median that can accommodate 1 future travel lane in each direction between South Branch Boulevard and Bexley Village Drive. This is in the same way you might pre-wire your living room for surround sound so that you can connect it in the future. This extra wide median is designed to avoid waste and reconstruction if the county decides at some point in the future that interchange ramps are necessary or desired. The preferred alternative further enhances multimodal accommodations that were provided in alternatives A, B, and C by including trails on both sides of the road throughout most of the project and a trail and a sidewalk everywhere else. And it also provides a second pedestrian underpass in addition to the one at the Anklote River and east of to add one east of the Bexley Village Drive roundabout. Off here. Whoops. The preferred alternative was developed with input from the public at 2 public workshops. One was held on January 30th, 2025, and another was held on May 1st, 2025. We received 330 comments that were received and recorded for the record. The most common concerns expressed by the public included pedestrian safety, particularly for school children on the way to and from school, increased vehicle speed and traffic volume, Suncoast interchange impacts, neighborhood connections to Rangeland Boulevard, and the existing Bexley Village Drive roundabout being converted to a signalized intersection. All build alternatives are consistent with the county's long-range transportation plan and accomplish the purpose and need for the project. The no-build alternative does not accomplish the purpose and need and is not consistent with the county's long-range transportation plan. All build alternatives require right-of-way to be acquired for a portion of the roadway, stormwater ponds, and floodplain compensation sites. The build alternatives each impact 19 parcels, and none require any businesses or residences to be relocated. Alternative A requires a total of 66.52 acres of right-of-way to be acquired, while alternative B requires a total of 71.34 acres, and alternative C and the preferred alternative each require a total of 72.42 acres of right-of-way to be acquired. Alternative A has an estimated construction cost of $95.8 million and an estimated total cost of $145.5 million. Alternative B has an estimated construction cost of $105.4 million and a total cost of $159.4 million. Alternative C, an estimated construction cost of $102.3 million and total cost of $155.5 million. And the preferred alternative has an estimated construction cost of $116 million and a total cost of $181.4 million. The no-build alternative has no cost other than just routine maintenance by the county of county property. Alternative A impacts 24.11 acres of wetlands. Alternatives B and C and the preferred alternative impact 26.38 acres of wetlands. All build alternatives have a high potential to increase noise. A noise study report was completed and noise walls were found to be feasible and reasonable in one location along Rangeland Boulevard west of South Branch Boulevard and one location on Bexley Village Drive south of Rangeland Boulevard. The route study and pond siting analysis report recommends the preferred alternative. It proposes a 4-lane road from Cattle Gap to Bexley Village Drive and can accommodate future widening if needed. It does not include a recommendation to construct an interchange with the Suncoast Parkway. It provides trails on both sides of the roadway for most of the project, and provides a trail and a sidewalk everywhere else. It proposes 2 pedestrian underpasses and 4 roundabout controlled intersections. From Cattle Gap Trail to Lake Point Parkway, the preferred alternative includes 4 11-foot travel lanes separated by a 22-foot median with 5-foot bicycle lanes, a 5-foot sidewalk on the north side, and a 12-foot trail on the south side. From Lake Point Parkway to South Branch Boulevard, the preferred alternative includes 4 11-foot travel lanes separated by a 22-foot median with 5-foot bicycle lanes, a 12-foot trail on the north, and a 12-foot trail or 5-foot sidewalk on the south. From South Branch Boulevard to the Suncoast Parkway, the preferred alternative includes 4 11-foot travel lanes separated by a 44-foot median with 5-foot bicycle lanes, 12-foot trail on the north side, and a 12-foot trail on the south side. If needed in the future, this section can have 1 additional travel lane in each direction added within the median. That would result in 6 travel lanes separated by a 22-foot median with bicycle lanes and trails on both sides. The preferred alternative includes a pair of 2-lane bridges to cross the Suncoast Parkway. They would have a total of 4 11-foot travel lanes with 8-foot 4-inch shoulders that can accommodate bicycle traffic, a barrier-separated 12-foot trail on the north side, and a barrier-separated 12-foot trail on the south side. If needed in the future, the 2 bridges can be connected within the median to provide 1 additional travel lane in each direction and a 22-foot raised median. From the Suncoast Parkway to Bexley Village Drive, the preferred alternative includes 4 11-foot travel lanes that are separated by a 44-foot median with 5-foot bicycle lanes, a 12-foot trail on the north, and a 12-foot trail on the south side. Similarly, if needed in the future, one travel lane can be added in each direction within the median. This would result in 6 travel lanes separated by a 22-foot median with bicycle lanes and trails on both sides. For approximately 2,000 feet east of the Bexley Village Drive intersection, the preferred alternative reconstructs Bud Bexley Parkway to accommodate a new pedestrian underpass and transition back to match the existing roadway. This segment includes 4 11-foot travel lanes separated by a 22-foot median with 5-foot bicycle lanes, a 12-foot trail on the north side, and a 12-foot trail or 5-foot sidewalk on the south side. The route study and pond siting analysis report is out of order here. The route study and pond site analysis report recommends 6 floodplain compensation sites and 8 stormwater mitigation ponds. The floodplain compensation sites require 26.64 acres of right-of-way acquisition, and the stormwater mitigation ponds require 19.44 acres. The preferred alternative impacts 26.38 acres of wetlands. It impacts 19 parcels and requires acquisition of 26.34 acres of right-of-way for the roadway, 19.44 acres of right-of-way for stormwater ponds, and 26.64 acres for floodplain compensation sites for a total of 72.42 acres of right-of-way acquisition. It was estimated that the construction cost for the preferred alternative will be $116 million. The wetland mitigation cost will be $7 million. The right-of-way acquisition will be $23.6 million, for a total cost for the preferred alternative to be $181.4 million. Finally, in summary, the preferred alternative is recommended because it is consistent with the county's long-range transportation plan. It provides the greatest potential for congestion reduction. It provides the best pedestrian and bicycle facilities. It provides the most potential safety enhancement through congestion reduction and pedestrian and bicycle facilities. And it avoids unnecessary roadway and bridge construction if the county decides in the future to construct interchange ramps with the Suncoast Parkway. This is the slide that highlights the recommended stormwater and floodplain compensation sites that I mentioned, and that concludes the presentation. Thank you.
All right. Questions from the board? Commissioner Waitman.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Campo, for conversation. The piece of this, I've talked with Carbala and other professional staff, maybe you Panos. I'd like to get clarity on the Gun Highway intersection, because this is all for nothing if that intersection is not improved. Right? Correct? That's just basically the my layman's terms of it.
Okay.
So if we embark down the road for this project, if Gun and 54 is not improved, the whole thing has the potential to be a cluster, from what I'm understanding. So I'd like to get clarity on that section of road.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the comment. The traffic analysis is based on projection of traffic for 2050. And as we all know, projections are just that, projections, okay? So, and based on the projections, the no-build condition for Gun Highway and State Road 54 is at level of service F for 2050, and the average delay is 105 seconds in the morning and 134 seconds in the afternoon, peak hours. Now, for alternative A, because this is what we're talking about today, alternative A, alternative B is not right now a consideration, it's alternative A. So for alternative A, the delay in the morning is going to jump from 105 seconds on average to 111, just 6 additional seconds. And in the PM, is going to increase from 134 seconds to 142, just 8 seconds. Now, 8 seconds, in most signalized intersections along State Road 54, most traffic takes about 2 cycles to clear, because the average cycle is from between a minute and a half to 2 minutes. So this delay is very normal for that kind of intersection. Now, if we go back to the alternative B, where, of course, the volumes will be higher on Rangeland Boulevard, and then the conditions on Gun Highway and State Road 54 will become, yes, much more congested, then we will assess the conditions then, because remember, traffic shifts when you build a new road. You may project something today, but the actual data will show us where the traffic is gravitating based on the new road. Then we will assess the conditions on Gun Highway, State Road 54, and then in conjunction with the FDOT, because State Road 54 is a state road, we will determine the best solution for that intersection. And that, again, if and when the interchange is built. That's not right now in the picture. Also, the experience shows that when drivers experience congestion at an intersection and there are alternative routes, they will gravitate to less congested route. For example, if they find that making a left turn from going east on State Road 54 to turn left on Gun Highway takes too long, they can drive down and make the left on Lake Point, or even farther down on South Branch Boulevard. So there will be alternatives for those drivers to make choices.
All right, thank you.
And those are the question? Let me ask a question then. So the Turnpike Authority, we've had struggles with them in the past. Other counties have got overpasses. We're spending $5-10 million on overpasses now. We had the Ridge Road interchange that was gonna be built. We had to battle with that going through. I've looked at stuff up in Hudson to try to do connections, Hudson Avenue, they're supposed to be looking at that. Haven't seen much of that lately. We looked above that before where the schools are, that was looked at, but just didn't want to go through with it. I'm concerned what they would do here, and I'm concerned that you don't know what they want to do here to show the people what would happen in the future. And you could do a very simple interchange like a Lutz Lake Fern, or they could demand they want the full interchange like they get everywhere else. I think those details need to get looked at closer, because if you're setting up all the right-of-way and you're gonna go through it, you wanna know what's gonna come. At least present to the people what they're going to do. I don't like the uncertainty of dealing with the Turnpike Authority. Let's look at the whole thing now. Even if it's phase 1 and phase 2, we should look at it now. And if it can be built in just the one phase as opposed to the second phase, and it gets acceptable to the people, it may be a better way to go. But you don't know that. And that's what's got people angst about it, because you're saying you're not gonna build it, but you're gonna build the infrastructure so it's easy to build later on. And that's, I think, where the big heartache is. So what you're trying to do is like accommodate to what they want to do, but you're not getting to the details. And you get another entity to deal with, which you can't control. You can't get them on paper, or you haven't got them on paper yet to figure out what they're going to do, what they're gonna ask for. Because if they just allow a simple in and off, right turn in, right out, or if they want the full interchange, it's gonna be a big difference. And I don't think they want to go through another set of construction. We see Orlando, they do it all the time. I don't think we want to do that here. We did it at State Road 56. They were gonna go put one lane in, we got two with the infrastructure in place to make the next one coming up nice and easy. So I think what you've done is great. I think it's great that you've done all the public input, but I just think it's early, and I think the uncertainty, what the Turnpike Authority would tell you to go do later in 2050, whatever it is something that needs to be addressed and vetted out.
Okay, so here's some background information. The Turnpike Authority prepared a PD&E study for the widening of Suncoast. And as part of that is from Gun Highway to State Road 52, I believe, for widening Suncoast. Now, as part of that PD&E study, they also addressed the interchange on Ridge Road. And the reason was that, so they have an approved document so they can take action whenever it's necessary. Doesn't mean that they approve the interchange so they can build it tomorrow.
Did you mean to say Rangeland? You said Ridge Road.
Sorry, Rangeland. Thank you for the correction. Yes, Rangeland Boulevard. So in our communication with Turnpike, again and again and again, they stated to us that this is a county-driven project, the interchange. We are not going to build an interchange unless the county is cooperating and is asking us to do the interchange. And again, that will be when we go to the Turnpike and say, we want the interchange, then they will have to do a cost-benefit analysis to see if it's beneficial for them to make the investment to build the interchange. So it's not a given. They have approved the interchange through the documentation process, but that's not something that the interchange is guaranteed there. It's something that we will have actively to go and engage the Turnpike for it to be built.
And just like I went down the road twice with them, didn't get it done, and maybe the second one does get done. But again, that uncertainty of what's going to happen is, I think, where the big angst is. And I think they need to be at the table to figure out what they're going to do before we make the step of what we're going to go do. Mr. Starkey.
I'm a little frustrated because you're the one that pushed for the interchange at the Suncoast.
I am, but you got to get the right details.
But I think that we saw in all the work that we've done over the years, what that interchange will look like if and when it comes. Didn't they do a design for it? Right.
Yeah.
There is a design already for it, if and when we connect. This road has been planned since I moved to Pasco County 34 years ago. It's not a secret. It's vital. When I was just looking at our numbers, 650,000 people right now. We have 2 east-west roads. I mean, if you recall, DOT came to me when this was, when this is in my district, when the whole thing was in my district, and said, please, please accelerate this, get this in your 5-year plan, because we need help on State Road 54. So, you know, I was, and still am, for the full interchange connection, but I'm willing to go along and say, let's just get over 54 now and reserve the right to connect. I think there will come a time that we will need to connect. But for now, I think this is a great compromise. I can tell you that the people in Starkey Ranch came to me and they want the connection to the Suncoast. I mean, who wants to drive?
Please do not comment. You'll have a
Maybe
chance to
some
speak.
don't, but many do, and there are other neighborhoods around the area that also would like to not have to drive State Road 54 to get to the airport. If you remember when the oil truck spilt and State Road 54 was closed down for most of the day. So this is an extremely important road that's been planned for decades. And I think you've done a great job in designing it. And, you know, it'll be in a future board. Maybe some of you will be here when and if we do connect to the Suncoast. But for now, you know, we have to move forward.
Commissioner
It's
Yeager.
going to be years before we build this, but we still need to move forward.
Commissioner Yeager.
Yeah, and I know the residents love option A, you know, in the original drawing. I'm glad you touched on the point, because I was going to touch on it, that FDOT doesn't have the authority to go ahead and make the connection. And I understand that widening the road, you know, you do it once because it's cheaper, doesn't necessarily mean the extension's going to go in. But I think getting the road done, completed, and having the infrastructure there is important. But I do hear the residents when it comes to, they don't want a big interchange in their community. And can you tell us, like, how many years are we looking at for all of that?
So we have funded the design for fiscal year 26, actually this year. We are a bit late because of the additional public involvement we had to go through. So probably the design is going to happen in fiscal year 27. We have budgeted right-of-way acquisition for fiscal year 27 also. So that's probably going to go a year later, fiscal year 28. Now, we don't have extensive right-of-way acquisition. So we allowed 2 years gap between right-of-way acquisition and construction, which is funded in fiscal year 29. So we think we can take care of the right-of-way acquisition before fiscal year 29 and start the construction in fiscal year 29.
I think the commissioner, though, is asking about the connection to the interchange.
If it ever even.
Well, according to Turnpike Authority, they said that the projection showed that may be needed after 2040, year 2040. So.
But again, it would have to go to a future board to
Yes.
even make that
That,
remotely
yeah,
possible.
it will have to be initiated by us. We will have to go and tell the Turnpike we want the interchange. And then we will collaborate and see if they can add it to the work program, because they will have to add, it will take money to build the interchange. So they will have to program it in the work program. And on our part, you know, we will engage the local community, have like the board at the time will hear, you know, maybe advertise for a public hearing, public meeting, and have engage the community and ask their input. At that time, we'll have more accurate projections for the traffic volumes, so we will know what's going on Rangeland Boulevard, on State Road 54, so we will have a better picture on what's going to happen, and then we will make the decision. That's our recommendation.
All right, Commissioner Oakley, and then we're going to go to public comment.
Okay. I support improvement of these infrastructure and the roadways, moving across east and west, north, south. Throughout our whole county, I've even made suggestions at other meetings that we do vision roads that are not even planned yet to be done, but they're there. But we need them for our citizens to be able to move throughout their communities and travel without being in congestion like 54 gets. This will alleviate some of the issues. It'll take some of that pressure off 54 and allow people to move east and west also. in a different route. But it helps us all with the new vision roads and all throughout our county. I mean, nobody wants that. I'll take it over on the east side, I can tell you, because I need it, because there's a lot of traffic coming over in that area too. So it's very important for infrastructure for our citizens, and we've got to be very mindful of our citizens. This is money that we have to look at and be sure we make the right move to provide roadways and ways for them to travel throughout their communities without a lot of congestion.
Okay, we're going to go to public comment now. Do you have a list to go first? I know Jane Graham is representing. Maybe she should go first, and then maybe Dr. Blanco and the Civic Association person after that, and then we'll take the regulars. And if I could, for everybody that's going to speak, we need your name and address for the record. And if you could, if you need 3 minutes, take 3 minutes, but if you don't need it, let the other person go to save time and get the other inputs in as well.
Good morning, Commission. My name is Jane Graham, and I'm an attorney and owner of Sunshine City Law, representing Bexley Community Development District. My address is 16703 Early Riser Avenue, Suite 272, Land O'Lakes, which is in Bexley. Bexley CDD has always been supportive of the Rangeland Boulevard extension through proposed alternative A, and that's what provides the connection between Starkey and Bexley with 4 lanes and no interchange on the Sun Coast. What you are being asked to approve today is something that has not previously been put forward during the public workshops, which is a hybrid phased approach, which is preferred alternative that basically says, yes, we'll do some version of A first, but then we'll do alternative B in the future. I want to talk to you about what do we know about this preferred alternative preferred alternative, and what we don't know, because that should be helpful in you actually being able to make your determination. So what do we know? We know that the 2050 long-range plan contemplated 4 lanes and $150 million for the Rangeland Boulevard extension. It was never contemplated as a 6-lane plus extension. So the fact that people are saying like, oh yeah, this has been on the books forever. Yes, that's right, but it's been on the books for a 4-lane divided improvement. What else do we know? We know that the ultimate preferred phase 2, which is what you're asking to approve in this package, is very much not supported by the community. There was a poll at the public workshops that shows just exactly what the alternatives are supported, and this is in the root study, and it shows alternative A, 85%, B, like 5%, C, somewhere around 5 to 10%. So that really needs to tell you something about what the people who have been involved in this process care about and think about. What else do we know? We know that a 6-lane portion, which is with an interchange, conflicts with the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan for Bexley North and South guiding principles specifically speaks to pedestrian-friendly, human-scale environment, connectivity, and walkability between uses and parcels, and maximum internal capture. This is inconsistent with that. This, by asking to have this incursion into a very pedestrian, very walkable area, that's not what this does. What else do we know? We know that the interchange is not currently something that FDOT is saying that they're going ahead with. We have emails with Greg Moore, who works with FDOT. He had not seen the preferred alternative or the other alternatives. I personally shared it with him, and he wrote back saying, and I sent you all a copy of this, saying, I have not seen this, and what they're saying is not inaccurate, but it implies a certainty that is not reflective of current thinking. And it's true that those ramps can come in someday in the future, but that's not something that there are no plans to move forward with it at this time. So it's true, it's the county who is going to tell FDOT what they want. And you are getting lots of input that 85% don't want this interchange. They want A. So what don't we know? What we don't know is how this will be funded, because what Mr. Campo gave a presentation of showed that the different alternatives have different costs. Now, the preferred alternative ultimate, which by the way, they say ultimate instead of, option, which ask yourself, why is it ultimate? That means that is the final goal. But so the preferred alternative ultimate is $191 million. That's $50 million more than alternative A, $30 million more than the others. And by the way, the cost of the long-range plan for Rangeland is $150 million. So this is really going over and beyond what had been previously contemplated. You don't know how this will be funded, and your staff report says funding is not required for this action. It will be presented for approval at a future meeting. When the price tag is this large, isn't that something you should talk about now? You also don't know how the new iteration will impact traffic in the area. And what hasn't been explained is that this new preferred alternative has actually changed the location of the signals and adds a roundabout at South Branch, and the route study doesn't include that. So things like lane geometry and signal performance and intersection performance haven't been looked at. The safety of existing neighborhoods cannot be sacrificed on behalf of unknown growth, which you have the full power to control. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next up. Please don't clap. We're going to slow things down a little bit.
I'm going to bring this here if you want to scan the QR code here. Good morning. My name is Nancy Pettit. I live at 16481 Acoustic Loop in Bexley. I'm also on the CDD, but I'm here kind of speaking as a passionate resident and also a CDD representative. It's funny, you watch movies and you hear them say, I'm not going to read what I wrote, I'm just going to speak from the heart, but they actually planned it. I'm going to really just try to speak from the heart. I have been a part of multiple meetings with great representatives from the county, with people like Panos since day one. And I brought these signs with us here today because I wanted the community, and especially you all, to know that Bexley, since day one, has actually been in favor and understanding of option A or alternative A. I'm married to a civil engineer who, before we bought our house, did the due diligence of a road's coming here one day. But we knew that at that time, the road had nothing to do with an option of an interchange connection to the Suncoast. That is the biggest difference here that's happening today. I also just want to shed light on the different workshops. Workshop 1, the public workshop that Panos mentioned, had two alternatives. They had A and B, as he mentioned. We then had a meeting that brought us to an alternative C option, which was included in the next workshop. Of all of those, from day one, like I mentioned, our community was all about option A. And how many in here, if you have a sign and you're here because of Bexley, can you please stand and show your signs? Thank you. On top of that, I know you guys were flooded with over 220 emails in less than a 24-hour period. I apologize it flooded your emails, but the whole point of that is we knew that people weren't going to have the opportunity to come here because we are a neighborhood filled of parents that are full-time workers with children and can't come to a 10 a.m. 4-hour meeting that isn't a workshop. It's a full agenda for the Board of County Commissioners. The point here is that we've never had an opportunity to ever examine this preferred alternative that is supposedly option A, but keeps the doors open for all the things in option B and C that we are not okay with. If you see on this sign, there's 3 main points that the community has been okay with since day one. It is keep the roundabout at the Bexley Village Drive, which yes, the preferred alternative has. It also says less lanes, which is really keeping it at the minimum of 4 lanes, which is what alternative A has. And finally, no interchange. I just want to make sure that when you all see in this proposed agenda today that the recommended board action is to approve the study's preferred alternative. And yes, it mentions 4 lanes. It doesn't mention the interchange connection. But when you move over to the page 4 of 7 of the same package that tells you exactly what the preferred alternative includes, it adds in 6 lanes for the future, interchange connection for the future. As I mentioned, it keeps the doors open to all the things, and all we're asking is that we hold off on voting for this today so that the community can have public input, a public workshop after 5 o'clock on a day that people can make it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No clapping, please.
Please. And if you want to line up behind him, we'll just kind of take who's going, Dr. Blanco, won't you come after this gentleman? That's it.
Good morning. My name is Jeremy Pettit. I have the privilege to be married to my brilliant and very passionate wife, Nancy. I reside at 16481 Acoustic Loop in Bexley. I'm a civil engineer. I'm a resident of Bexley, but I also own a civil engineering business here in Pasco County. So I understand a lot of the terms being thrown out here, and I want to kind of define 2 terms. I have a lot to get to, so I'm just going to jump right into it. A lot of people have said, I'm going to repeat what people have said. But collector and arterial, those are 2 terms used in the engineering roadway design industry to define roads, volume, traffic. So the vision plan, I'm glad you guys brought that up. That has been shown since 2006. We've seen it. It is defined as a vision or future collector road. A collector road does not connect to a highway. It is not an interchange. Those are arterials. Collector road's primary purpose is to funnel local traffic to arterials for high traffic volumes. What you're talking about here is this ultimate option, which by the way was not in the original presentation. It was alluded to, but it was not shown. It is an ultimate option. It's being disguised as option A. It's not. It's paving the way literally to put an interchange in and put a arterial, just akin to State Road 54, through Bexley. Okay, 3-4 years ago, I don't know exactly when it was, the southeast quadrant of the roundabout at Bexley Village Drive and Tower Road had commercial property was a planned future land use there. That was changed by this board to residential. Right now, you just went and put residential property, people's backyards facing State Road 54, a highway just like that. That was irresponsible to change at that point when this has been on the plans for 2006, if you're saying so. An arterial is not what we signed up for. It's not safe. We've never been able to study what was proposed here. It was a bait and switch tactic, and we don't appreciate it. Thank you.
No clapping.
Please, don't do that.
You'll be removed.
Dr. Blanco. And who's ever going to speak after him, please line up so we can save time.
Dr. Tavio Blanco, I'm going to be talking about my property, which is at 16543 State Road 54. And I'm going to start out, since it's the 250th anniversary coming up for the country, with one of the founding fathers, a statement he made. That'd be Benjamin Franklin. Way back then, he was a forward thinker, and he said, the price of water will only be known when the well runs dry. I'm here talking, like always, with you all about wetlands. That's what I do, preserve my wetland on my property. The issue about wetlands is they're vital to recharge our aquifers. They're vital for stability of the earth so you don't have sinkholes. And just recently, this year for the first time I've ever seen, forestry put most areas at high fire risk in the first week of February. That's unheard of. Usually it's April or May. Also, for the subsidence events, I just came back from Orlando. I was there for 3 or 4 days. There was a huge event over there that got national publicity. I don't know if you heard about it. There was a giant apartment complex like we have here, 300-400 units. Also had commercial. All of a sudden, people got up in the morning to leave, and they couldn't get out their doors because the building has shifted. They had to get emergency come out and chop down doors, let people out, get the animals out. It's a disaster. It's all covered with tape, and they're all homeless now, these people, and the businesses are shutting down. So sooner or later, even though people want to talk about many things which are important to them, sooner or later, things like wetlands become vitally important. So mine is called Wetland A3. It's very famous. Everybody at Swift Mud knows it because I've been in court a lot protecting it for many different things. So most recently, I've been to all the meetings about Rangeland, and I know about the situation with ponds. My concern is there are certain like minimum criteria, but through all my court cases and all my dealings with all the different agencies, because our wetlands now, latest aerial surveys show that over 50% of wetlands are totally gone at this point. They can't function anymore, and new wetlands they'll just spring up. So what the Swiftman people I talked to, and I talked to them a lot, they said, with wetlands, you should always go beyond the minimums to protect them. There's this pond here that originally was supposed to be right on my property. They bumped it over a little bit, just on the edge of my property. There's a 25-acre piece of land that I set up on I got all these documents if anybody wants to see them. One of my court cases with Turnpike, I ended up getting that land preserved, and it's 25 acres, and what I've suggested is, instead of just doing the minimum and putting this pond over by my swamp, we went to the west side of that property. It still has the same connection to your road, the rangeland, but it gives extra protection to the wetland. There's not many wetlands left like this. The PhD hydrogeologist from Swiftman was in my place, said, I never see wetlands that are this healthy. How do you do it? Well, I'm always in court. I don't want to be in court. I want to just get protection. So it's a simple fix. Move the pond over the west end of that property. Everybody's happy.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Joseph Elbert, 4653 Tour Trace, Land O'Lakes, Bexley resident. First, I want to just comment on a question that Commissioner Waitman asked about. And I think it's a very good one. When you talk about Gun Highway and the extension at the end of it and what's being done at that portion, you'll notice the response from Panos was that, hey, don't worry about it. People will basically be able to take the path of less resistance. They'll avoid traffic. But contrary, when it's against his plan, you don't see that same argument when we're talking about the overpass of 589. They're building a plan for that. They're going to say, hey, look, the solution is this. But they don't build that same solution there. They argue and say, hey, look, folks will drive around it. Why won't they say that here? Folks will drive around 589. They'll find a better path, right? That argument doesn't correlate. I'm the chair of the Bexley CDD, and I'm here to represent our community on item 31. I want to be clear where our community stands. Bexley participated in this process in good faith. While many preferred a no-build option, we accepted Alternative A, the original Alternative A, a 4-lane road, keeping the roundabouts, a Suncoast overpass, and no interchange. We are residents who are nearly unanimous on this. We are against the 6-lane expansion or the Suncoast Parkway interchange, now or in the future. That's a key point. Just because it's good to have option value, it's not good to have option value when it doesn't make sense for the neighborhood around it. Although labeled Alternative A, what is in front of you is not Alternative A, and I want to explain why this preferred alternative is something our community absolutely does not prefer. This alternative was never presented to the public. Alternatives A, B, and C were shown at workshops where over 330 participated, including myself and many of the folks that are here today. The community made its position clear. Then, and after the public process closed, staff created a new hybrid that no resident has ever reviewed or commented on. This is not how you build public trust. Now let's talk about what the hybrid actually does. The county is calling it a 4-lane road, but their own study report calls it an interim phase with an ultimate phase of 6 lanes and a Suncoast Parkway interchange. The drawings show a 44-foot median designed specifically for inside widening to 6 lanes, and the bridge is designed to be widened to 6 lanes. This is not a 4-lane road. This is the first phase of a 6-way highway through a neighborhood. Then there are the financials. Alternative A costs $145 million, but the preferred alternative costs up to $192 million. That's $42 million more than the planned community approach, the plan that the community supports. At the time when the county and other critical transportation needs like Sun Lake Boulevard and Ridge Road, spending an extra $50 million to preserve an option for an interchange that the residents do not support is not responsible use of taxpayer dollars. And let me put the traffic in perspective as well. Alternative A, Rangeland Boulevard would carry out 18,000 vehicles per day. Under the 6-lane scenario, this number jumps to 50,000, which is 70 to 80% of State Road 54. So I ask you to vote no on this and build the road that community supported, not the highway that we rejected. Thank you.
Good morning, Board.
My name is Buckshot Matson. I'm a resident on Tour Trace, as the previous gentleman was.
I'm
I am-
sorry, sir, for the record, could you say that
My
one
address
more
is already
time?
in your records. You can look it up. I'm not here to do your job for you. I am the evil one here, and I'll take any anchor.
Please state your name and
Please
address.
state-
Buckshot Matson. I'm the only one in your records. You'll only be able to find
I've
one.
got quite a few up here.
Yeah, they're all
Okay.
in the house ownership. I'm on Tour Trace. I'm here to say that pretty much this project and the other ones, you are missing the point of synchronization. You have this project and the one on the east side, which are, at the worst, you're hiding it willfully. At best, it's highly convenient. Now, this project ends right prior to Bexley Elementary, which you said was elementary school safety. It ends right there and doesn't talk about that elementary school. It's right next to it. Along with everyone else, that you build up a scenario where you built the goldfish's pond. If you put a goldfish in a tank that's 10 gallons, it'll grow to that size. Put it in a 20-gallon pond, it'll grow even bigger. Congratulations. You are building this preferred plan with a very large pond for that goldfish to grow. People always go to the path of least resistance. All right? And they'll easily ask, once these interchanges are all put in, roundabouts are in, it'll be great for the first board until the next board moves in. And then they vote to get rid of them, and now you have a high-speed road connecting 54 all the way up to 41, right next to people's backyards. It's not what anyone wants, not what anyone would like to live in. I don't. I chose my place looking very carefully at this as well. Your own 2050 plan for the future also includes another road wrapping around the north side of our own community, if anyone hasn't looked at that one. And it's not included in this. It looks like it lines right up with that first roundabout, which now you're gonna have 4 major roads, potentially, all in the same spot, next to people's houses. Not a desire, not as a plan. I'll leave the rest of the time for the rest of my community.
Good morning. My name's Brian Faithful. I'm 4250 Epic Cove in Bexley. Just for the record, that I am supportive of Alternative A. I think it was there. It was there when we came down from Maryland to look at buying a house in Bexley. It's a beautiful place, and it's a shame that we're here. And it's very unfortunate that we're here being asked to vote on a preferred alternative that has never even been communicated to the public. But more concerning to me is that, I think we're trying to fix a problem that the county has created, or has a part of the problem that the county has created. I look around, and within 3 or 4 miles of the 54 Suncoast interchange, we have at least 11 apartment complexes. 11 within 3 to 4 miles of that interchange. That's the problem. And now we're being asked to consider an option that could put 6 lanes right at the communities that you represent. And it just blows my mind that that's the same number of lanes that 54 has. The same number of lanes. And it's just disturbing. And that we're going to spend millions and millions of dollars to prep against something for 6 lanes, interchanges that you don't even know what it's going to look like down the road. So that's really the bulk of what I wanted to say. So I'm asking you to not approve this alternative option. Go back to A. It was there from the beginning. It's a good plan, and I think it supports everything that we need. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Paige Nardi. I live at 3133 Tour Trace in the Bexley community. I'm here representing as a resident of Bexley. I will say I am on the HOA board. I was copied on all 225, 250 emails, so I did see those, that you all received them. I'm here representing my husband as well as my 2 teenage sons, and I'm asking you today that agenda item number 31 be motioned for continuance. And if you choose to continue, then I ask you to say no until the preferred alternative has been fully vetted and discussed with community members. Right now, as my other residents have shared, this has not been done. Option A is what we were understanding would be voted on, not this DE, I don't know what else, they're calling it this preferred alternative, but it's like this additional option that's been added on. Earlier this month, David Ingold was quoted in the Tampa Bay Business Journal saying, "Where are the growing pains? The biggest pain is that we are behind on roadway construction, the east-west. Is this the solution that you're trying to find? This issue is here, so you're trying to put a Band-Aid on it and find a solution for it? I echo what my other residents had said with regards to the impact of this, but what I wanted to focus on is the safety. This potential has an interchange with 6 lanes going in front of people's homes. It's not behind their houses. If you go into Bexley, this is in their front yards. People who are trying to get to parks, schools, preschools, the high school. There are like 6 to 8 schools within a 2 to 3 mile radius of this area. Sun Lake, who we saw here today, which Ms. Merlin, I was at the SAC committee meeting. She gratefully was excited that they were going to be recognized today. But this is individuals trying to get to parks, their friends' houses, go to school, and you're going to put a potential for 6 lanes, 50,000 cars. Now, what was added in is this underpassage. And Mr. Pano said, go look in Hillsborough on Linbaugh Avenue, and there's an underpassage there. A couple of things. It's not at an interchange. It's just underneath a 4-lane road, an established 4-lane road that will never be expanded to 6 lanes. There's no room for it if you go down in that area. Number 2, Bexley. It's a conservation. We have gators, snakes, wildlife. I love that as part of my community. But you want children and people to go underneath underpasses that are going to be built in a wetland area. It is not a solution that would be viable for Bexley. So I ask you to think about this, the safety for the children, not just today, but in 2050. My house is not going to move in 2050. It is still going to be in Bexley, and there's still going to be homes that I would like to go to the community. So I ask you, especially Ms. Commissioner Yeager, this is your area. I ask you to put a motion out to either continue with this or vote no on this option. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, good morning. Matthias Piercy, 4361 Tour Trace, Land O'Lakes. Thank you, Commissioners, for the time today, and thank you all for the individual meetings that we had as well. I'm a resident of Bexley and as well the HOA president. I'd like to talk today about fiscal responsibility. As we all have stated in the comprehensive plan back in 2006, Option A was essentially what was agreed to at that time. Option A is what Bexley supports. Option A is a $145 million project. What we're now contemplating today is a preferred alternative that is $40 million more than option A. So it's $40 million on a gamble that, hey, I'd like to see an interchange down the road. Hey, I think maybe we'll add it in 2040 when it's needed. In my house, we don't spend $40 million today, or my businesses I run, we don't spend $40 million today or 30% more of the budget on something I think may happen down the road. I can tell you the example was made of surround sound in a house. Surround sound in a house, I agree. Sometimes you build a house, you put in surround sound wiring for it. You actually used to do that. But when you did it, it was $1,000. It wasn't $40 million. And maybe you added it down the road. When I built my house 8 years ago, we put in telephone jacks and cable outlets and all that. We paid extra money for that. Now it's all wasted. It was no good money. We don't know that money put into this project today for an interchange will mean anything in 10 years. Building methodologies, systems, ways of movement change every single year, and we don't know what comes at that time. Again, $40 million is not an insignificant amount of money. The percentage spent on that for something that may happen down the road and we may have FDOT approve it is way too much to gamble on as we move forward. Those funds could be used to improve 54. 41 and 54 is an absolute nightmare. We've talked about 54 the whole time. That's the big pinch point on 54 at this point, is 41 and 54. We've also not talked about, what about connecting Sun Lake from Bexley Village Drive up to Ridge Road? That could eliminate some of this traffic. What about the project to extend Tower Road out to 41 and ultimately 52? I'm not sure where that's at this point, but that could alleviate some of 54. There's numbers of alternatives that this $40 million could go to rather than a gamble of everyone's money to say, hey, maybe this will happen down the road. I'd ask that you support option A and take the preferred alternative off the table. Thank you.
So at 11:58, I get 2 more speakers.
Lisa Lopatine, 4233 Epic Cove. I'm a resident of Bexley. Been there for 7 years. when we came down initially, looking at the community. We were actually told that there would be a road eventually going, and we were like, okay, that's great. You have to expand, you have to make more roadways, you have to do things so people can get around and do the things that they need to do. What we never thought would ever happen is a proposed interchange coming in. The way Bexley is set up, I just don't feel an interchange is the appropriate thing to put in. I get concerns about with the Amazon that's down the road. If you have, say, an Amazon driver get on there with his big 18-wheeler, and he might decide to get off at that exit, as opposed to going on down to 54 and going in the way he's supposed to go. So you're opening it up to not just pedestrian traffic, you're opening it up to any kind of traffic that might want to flow off of that. I understand y'all have a hard job. I totally get that, and I totally appreciate your time that y'all take to do your job, but I really, please consider your vote very carefully, and I ask that you vote for option A, because that's the one that makes the most sense for our community. Thank you.
Wow, okay.
Christy King, 3929 Tour Trace, Land O'Lakes. I'm a resident of Bexley, and I just wanted to speak on some of the concerns that we have with the new alternative proposal. It was not given as an option for all the previous meetings, so we do feel like we've been hoodwinked in a sense to the fact that it's still being labeled option A when it's now an alternative. If you look at the infrastructure that they're trying to connect to, whether you look at Starkey at Gun Highway and Rangeland Road, where no light exists, no roundabout exists, you're going to have an influx of people who are taking this new extension to get to 54. If you look at the roundabout that currently exists in Bexley, it's a one-lane roundabout that you're proposing to add 2 to potentially 3 lanes of incoming traffic into a roundabout. This roundabout, if you've ever been there, is heavily populated with pedestrians, people who are walking to elementary school in the morning, people who are walking to their amenities within their community, and you're wanting to put an influx of traffic that doesn't even pertain to the community. There are several other areas in Pasco County that I think would help alleviate some of the congestion that you have on 54, as mentioned previously, extending Tower Road, extending Sun Lake up to Ridge Road. And I feel like by putting this extension in that we knew was an option, all of us that had looked and seen the maps, it was meant to be a small alleviation of traffic, not a major thoroughfare for you to add an extension onto the Suncoast Parkway. I really wish that you would reconsider and choose to table this until more time and consideration be given. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm an owner at 16778
Your name, please, sir.
Paul Ducharme.
Had you signed up previously, sir?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say anything, but then after the planner's presentation, I was having a hard time not jumping out of my seat.
And your address, please. for the-
Yeah, it's 16778 Courtyard Loop.
Thank you.
My house at Courtyard Loop abuts the wetlands. And when I see these presentations and I'm hearing about the impacts on the wetlands, I'm thinking, what the hell is going on with that? Wetlands are sacred. That was brought up earlier by somebody else. But we're going to be impacting wetlands to build these highways that nobody wants. And a little bit about me, I come from the Boston area where I retired from construction management and had spent more than a decade working on Boston's infamous Big Dig. So I understand how some of this stuff works. And I did look at listen to what you were saying about that intersection at Gun Highway. It's just a simple little diagram. You cannot imagine how complicated that intersection is going to be. And then it comes around the backside of those subdivisions, crosses over the Suncoast Parkway, which is a 200-foot wide expanse, crosses over and abuts and comes into a rotary at Bexley subdivision. To me, that's like looking at a bulldozer, in a playground. You know that 4-lane highway is going to go busting through that rotary and just going to keep on going. The one thing, too, about my experience with the Big Dig is that with a lot of these public projects is that they throw out numbers, projections of things 25 years down the road. Well, they don't know. They don't know, and they don't have any control over the expenses. We heard earlier in this commission meeting that there were problems funding teachers' salaries, money needed to be spent on fire departments, but here we are looking at spending almost $200 million on a road that most people don't want. They have done polls in the Bexley subdivision. Over 80% of the people don't want them. So save the money, don't do it. We don't need that stupid road. there are other alternatives. You need better planners, and we need better oversight from this commission on this stuff. So again, I didn't think I was going to speak, but again, after that presentation, I just couldn't, I had a hard time staying in my seat hearing that. There's a million holes you can punch in that thing, and I'm not going to do it because I don't have the time. But I would say table this for now,
Thank you.
please.
These are the last two speakers, and if you can, please don't repeat what has been said.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Board, my name is David Silverstein, 15590 Sweet Springs Bend in the Preserve. I have one site-specific for our community and one collective issue for all communities. After the original meeting, we found a series of drawings on the maps indicating sidewalk entrances into our community, which read, only if the CDD wants it. We don't. I'm a supervisor on the CDD, and we communicated this information accordingly to Mr. Panos Conces, who indicated, yes, we will remove from the conceptual plans all sidewalk and walkway connections. That communication was in February of last year. Subsequent to that, we had another meeting, and the maps were put up again, and all of them continued to show the sidewalk connections. It was brought up to their attention with forwarded emails, and the response to that was, thank you for reminding me. I enjoyed talking with you. We will remove it. As of 3 months ago, on your website, those sidewalk connections are still showing up if approved by the CDD. I would appreciate, please, if Mr. Conces and his team could please address this appropriately and get rid of it, because we do not want them. There are two sidewalks entering the community, one out of Sweet Springs and the other one out of Tucson Wind Place, which we have been confirmed already will disappear, but as of 3 months ago, it's still on your maps. Last and only of great importance to all communities. It takes 20 years apparently to make a decision about how something will eventually happen, and I read that the impact on noise is high. Well, we can all still hear 589, and the big question when I brought it up was, what will be done? And the answer was, once it's built, we will do a study to see how to address it. I really think somebody has to by now have a clue on how to address noise coming off of a highway into a community. This is not reinventing the wheel. Please don't pass this until somebody addresses these issues. Thank you.
These are the last two. We have 9 people online, but those people online are going to have to be heard after the break.
Good afternoon. My apologies for my appearance. I'm one of those working parents that sprinted over to try to make this meeting. I will try to keep it short and sweet. My name is Basilios Manasoyanakis. I live at 3392 Tortrace in the Bexley community in Land O'Lakes. I'm here today not just as a resident, but as a parent of 2 young children. My wife herself could not make it. She is a Pasco County native, and we chose to move to Bexley specifically because it is known as a safe and walkable community. Every day, I see children riding bikes, families walking the trails, and parents pushing strollers. That is the environment we chose for our children. Safety is not just a general concern for me. It is very personal. We have personally lost a family member who was struck by a vehicle and passed away. So I understand very clearly how traffic and speed can change lives forever. I understand the county is growing and the additional roads are needed. I'm not opposed to growth or infrastructure, but my concern is that this project could effectively create a highway connection and a cut-through route for people trying to avoid State Route 54, bringing regional traffic directly in front of a community where children live, walk, and play. I respectfully ask the commission to prioritize the safety of existing communities and ensure this road as a local connector and not a regional cut-through corridor. Thank you for your time and your service to Pasco County.
Okay, last speaker for this break, before the break.
Hi, my name is Adam Saunders. I live at 17896 Everlong Drive, Land O'Lakes, Florida. I'm a Bexley resident. I'm also on the CDD and the HOA, but I'm here speaking in my individual capacity just as a resident. When I drove here today, I passed through the Bexley roundabout on Bexley Village Drive. I think I passed a pair of sandhill cranes, a group of people jogging. a person on a bike who I think was taking their kid to school. Bexley has an undeniable, charming residential character. I think that's the reason a lot of people moved to Bexley. A lot of people move into Bexley currently for that reason, for that idyllic lifestyle. That brings me to Rangeland Boulevard. Over the past year, our community has been really actively participating in this process. You saw the attendance at those workshops. A lot of that was Bexley residents. Throughout this process, Bexley has consistently supported Alternative A, including the 4-lane roadway, preserving the roundabout on Bexley Village Drive, the Suncoast overpass, and no new interchange connection. We attended the public meetings, submitted comments, evaluated alternatives A and B, and then later alternative C when it was introduced. Now this new proposed preferred alternative. This proposal includes a widened median to accommodate a potential 6-lane expansion from South Branch to Bexley Village Drive and a future interchange connection to the Suncoast Parkway. This is all despite the expression of strong opposition from the Bexley community and surrounding communities, which would be most directly impacted. I know Mr. Contas has said that this proposal does not include any interchange, but I think creating the infrastructure for that interchange creates the temptation to build it in the future. Many residents view this, rightly so, as an indirect attempt to enable the interchange, which was previously rejected at all levels of public comment when we've had that opportunity. This preferred alternative also does not include any meaningful measures for noise mitigation, which I think is something a previous commenter had brought up, or traffic calming beyond the existing roundabout to preserve the important residential character of Bexley. Additionally, and this is a small point, but I think it's something meaningful, when I reviewed the route study, the assumptions of which I assume underlie the drive for this project, something that stuck out to me was the projected increase in average annual daily traffic on Broad Porch Run from 3,500 to 5,000 by 2050. For a road that is effectively an enclosed area with no new capacity for residential development or areas of ingress.
Please wrap it up, sir.
I'm sorry?
Please wrap it up. Your time's up.
Oh, okay. Well, then I appreciate your time then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so it is 12:11. We're past our normal break at noontime. Sorry it went on so long. We'll take up the item as soon as we get back at 1:30, finish the public comment. I know we had 9 people online.
Correct.
So let them know at 1:30 to come back and we'll go. We're adjourned for now, till 1:30.
Thank you.